Hello everyone, I am Dr. Nidhi Singh and today we are going to talk about the remaining part of drainage system of India. If you remember, in the last session we discussed about what is drainage, few important terminologies related to drainage, various drainage patterns, classification of drainage of India and also evolution of the two most important drainage systems of India. So now tell me, what are the two major drainage systems of India? Can you recall? Yes, they are first Himalayan drainage system and second peninsular drainage system. Now since we are aware of these things, we will switch over to various river systems of these two major drainage systems. At first, we will know about various river systems within the Himalayan drainage system. There are three important river systems within Himalayan drainage system. First one is the Indus river system, second one is the Ganga river system and the third one is the Brahmaputra river system. We will talk about the Indus river system first. It is one of the largest river basins of world, covering an area of 11,65,000 square kilometer with a total length of 2,880 kilometers. In India, the Indus River covers an area of 3,21,289 square kilometer with 1,114 kilometer of length. Do you know in which other country the Indus River flows? Yes, it is Pakistan and Indus River drains out its water in the Arabian Sea. Did you know that the Indus is also known as the Sindhu? It is the westernmost of the Himalayan rivers in India. It originates from a glacier in the Tibetan region at an altitude of 4,164 meters in the Kailash mountain range. After flowing in the northwest direction between the Ladakh and Zanskar ranges, it passes through Ladakh and Baltistan. Try to find out these places in your atlas. The river cuts across the Ladakh range, forming a spectacular gorge near Gilgit in Jammu and Kashmir. By now, you must be knowing what is a glacier and a gorge. Look at the map. Observe various small rivers joining Indus River and the direction in which it is flowing from the place of its origin. The Indus has a number of Himalayan tributaries such as the Shyok, Gilgit, Zanskar, the Nubra and the Dras, etc. Indus River flows southward and receives Panjnad, a little above Mithankot. The Panjnad is the name given to the 5 rivers of Punjab, namely the Satluj, Beas, Ravi, Chenab and Jhelum. Can you make out how the name Punjab must have come into existence? Think over it. Let's discuss more about Indus. Indus finally discharges waters into the Arabian Sea east of Karachi. The Indus flows in India only through Jammu and Kashmir. We will be talking about the 5 important tributaries of Indus. The first one is Jhelum, which rises from a spring at Verinag situated at the foot of the Pir Panjal in the southeastern part of the Kashmir Valley. It flows through Srinagar and the Vular Lake before entering Pakistan through a deep, narrow gorge. It joins the Chenab near Jhang in Pakistan. Chenab is the largest tributary of Indus. It is formed by 2 streams. the Chandra and the Bhaga, which join at Tandi near Kelong in Himachal Pradesh. Hence, it is also known as Chandrabhaga. The river flows for 1180 km within India before entering into Pakistan. The Ravi, another important tributary of the Indus, rises west of Rohtang Pass in the Kullu hills of Himachal Pradesh and flows through the Chamba valley. Before entering Pakistan, it joins the Chenab river. The Beas is another and fourth important tributary of the Indus and originates from the Beas Kund near the Rohtang Pass. The river flows through the Kullu valley and forms gorges in the Dhauladhar range before entering the Punjab plains, where it meets Satluj river. The Satluj originates in the Rakshastal near Mansarovar at an altitude of 4,555 meters in Tibet. It flows almost parallel to the Indus before entering India. It passes through the Shipkila on the Himalayan ranges and enters the Punjab plains. La, I hope you all know, is a term used for mountain pass in this region. It is a very important tributary as it feeds the canal system of the Bhakra Nangal project. After the Indus river system, now we will discuss about the Ganga river system. Look at the map and observe from where Ganga river originates and in which direction it flows. It is the most important river of India, both from the point of view of its basin and cultural significance that it has. Many of the densely populated places are located on the banks of this river. It rises in the Gangotri glacier near Gomukh at 3,900 meters above sea level in the Uttarkashi district of Uttarakhand. Here it is known as the Bhagirathi. It travels through narrow gorges of the central and the lesser Himalayas. At Devprayag, Bhagirathi meets Alaknanda. After this only it is known as the Ganga. The Ganga enters the plains at Haridwar. From here it flows first to the south, then to the southeast and east before splitting into two tributaries, namely the Bhagirathi and the Padma. The river has a length of 2,525 kilometers. Can you name the states through which Ganga river flows? Yes, it travels through Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal. The Ganga basin covers around 8.6 lakh square kilometer area in India alone. Which other country shares the waters of Ganga river with India? Yes, it's Bangladesh. The Ganga river system is the largest in India, having a number of perennial and non-perennial rivers. The perennials originate in the Himalayas in the north and the perennials originate in the peninsula in the south. Look at the map. The Son is its major tributary. Other important tributaries are Ramganga, Gomti, Ghagra, Gandak, Kosi and the Mahananda. The river finally discharges itself into the Bay of Bengal. The Yamuna, the westernmost and the longest tributary of the Ganga, has its source in the Yamunotri glacier. It joins the Ganga at Prayag or Allahabad. It is joined by the Chambal, Sindh, Betwa and Ken rivers. Much of its waters feeds the western and eastern Yamuna and the Agra Canal for irrigation purposes. Try out an activity. Try to find out all these places mentioned in the discussion with the help of your school atlas. Now, we will try to know about few other important tributaries of Ganga river. First is Chambal river. It rises in the Malwa plateau of Madhya Pradesh and flows northwards. Do you know for what reason Chambal is famous for? Ask your parents. It is famous for ravines and badland topography. Do you know what are ravines? These are the deep channels created in the land by flowing water. The Gandak rises in the Nepal Himalayas between the Dhaulagiri and Mount Everest and drains the central part of Nepal. It enters the Ganga plain in Champaran district of Bihar and joins the Ganga at Sonpur near Patna. The Ghagra river, on the other hand, originates in Tibet. It meets the Ganga in Bihar. Kosi river has its source to the north of Mount Everest in Tibet. The Ramganga is comparatively a small river rising in the Garhwal hills near Garsen. It joins the Ganga near Kannauj in Uttar Pradesh. The Damodar, another tributary, occupies the eastern margins of the Chota Nagpur plateau, where it flows through a rift valley and finally joins the Hooghly. You must have heard about Damodar Valley Corporation, DVC. The Saryu river rises in the Nepal Himalayas. Find out which famous place is located at the banks of this river. The Mahananda is another important tributary of the Ganga, rising in the Darjeeling hills and joins the Ganga in West Bengal. The Son is a large tributary of the Ganga, which originates in the Amarkantak plateau. Do you know where is Amarkantak plateau? It is in Madhya Pradesh. After forming a series of waterfalls at the edge of the plateau, it reaches Ara, west of Patna, to join the Ganga. This was all about Ganga river system. Now we will discuss about the Brahmaputra river system. Look at the map. The Brahmaputra is one of the largest rivers of the world. It has its origin in the Kailash range near the Mansarovar lake. We all know the importance of Mansarovar lake. It is a famous pilgrimage of Hindus. From here, Brahmaputra travels eastward for a distance of nearly 1,200 km in a dry and flat region of southern Tibet. Here, it is known as the Sangpo. It emerges as a turbulent and dynamic river after carving out a deep gorge in the central Himalayas near Namcha Barwa, which is located at 7,755 meters. The river emerges from the foothills under the name of Siang or Dihang. It enters India in Arunachal Pradesh. Flowing southwest, it receives its major tributaries like Dibang or Sikang and Lohit. Thereafter, it is known as the Brahmaputra. The Brahmaputra receives numerous tributaries in the 750 km long journey through the Assam Valley. Budi Dihing, Subansiri, Kameng, etc. are the other tributaries. The Brahmaputra enters into Bangladesh near Dhubri and flows southward. In Bangladesh, the Tista joins it, from where the river is known as the Jamuna. It finally merges with the river Padma, which falls in the Bay of Bengal. The Brahmaputra is known for floods, shifting of channel and bank erosion. Can you think of the reason behind it? This is due to the fact that most of its tributaries are large and bring large quantity of sediments due to heavy rainfall in its catchment area. The second major river systems of India, as discussed before, is the peninsular river system. Peninsular river systems consist of large number of rivers. First of all, we will be discussing about Mahanadi river. Look at the map. Mahanadi rises in Raipur district of Chhattisgarh and runs through Odisha to discharge its water into the Bay of Bengal. It has a catchment area of 1.42 lakh square kilometer. The second important river of peninsular river system is Godavari river. It is the largest peninsular river system. It is also called the Dakshin Ganga. It rises in the Nasik district of Maharashtra and discharges its water in the Bay of Bengal. Its tributaries run through the states of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. It is 1465 km long with the catchment area spreading over 3.13 lakh square kilometer. The Penganga, Indravati, Pranhita and Manjra are the principal tributaries. The Godavari is subjected to heavy floods in its lower reaches to the south of Polavaram. In the lower reaches, the river splits into several branches forming a large delta. Learners, I hope by now you know what is a delta? Yes, it is a depositional feature formed by a river when it joins the sea or ocean. Next river is Krishna river. It is the second largest east flowing peninsular river which rises near Mahabaleshwar in Sahyadri. Try to find out where is Mahabaleshwar. The total length of Krishna river is 1401 km. The Koyna, Tungabhadra and Bhima are the major tributaries. Next is the Kaveri river. The Kaveri river rises in Brahmagiri hills of Kogadu district in Karnataka. Its length is 800 km and it drains an area of 81,155 square kilometer. Since the upper catchment area receives rainfall during the southwest monsoon season, that is summer, and the lower part during the northeast monsoon season, that is during winters, the river carries water throughout the year with comparatively less fluctuation than the other peninsular rivers. The Narmada, another river, originates on the western side of the Amarkantak plateau at the height of about 1057 meters. Flowing in a rift valley between the Satpura in the south and the Vindhyan range in the north, it forms a beautiful gorge in marble rocks and Dhuadhar waterfalls near Jabalpur. Have you ever visited Jabalpur and this marble rock area? I have, and it is a beautiful place. Never mind, I'll show you some photographs of this place. Songs of few Hindi movies have also been shot here. After flowing a distance of about 1312 km, Narmada river meets the Arabian Sea, forming a broad 27 km estuary. Do you know what is an estuary and how it is different from a delta? If you don't know, then try finding it out. Instead of delta, rivers also form estuary while joining the sea. The catchment area of Narmada is about 98,796 square kilometer. The Sardar Sarovar project has been constructed on this river. Tapi, another river, is the other important westward flowing river. It originates from Betul district of Madhya Pradesh. It is 724 kilometers long and drains an area of 65,145 square kilometers. After draining the land of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat, it finally joins Arabian Sea. Luni, another river, is the largest river system of Rajasthan, west of Aravalli Hills. It originates near Pushkar in two branches, that is the Saraswati and the Sabarmati, which join each other at Govindgarh. From here, the river comes out of Aravalli and is known as Luni. Flowing westward, it joins the run of Kutch. The entire river system is ephemeral. By ephemeral, I mean it flows below the surface. There are few other small rivers flowing in the peninsular region and they flow in the west direction. Shetruంజి, Bhadra, Sabarmati, Mahi, Mandavi, Periyar and Pamba rivers are to name some. The east flowing rivers are the Subarnarekha, Baitarni, Brahmani, Palar and the Vaigai river. Find out these rivers from the atlas. After we have finished the discussion on Himalayan and peninsular river systems, let us now summarize the characteristics of both these by comparing them. Look at the table. It gives a comparison of both the river systems of India, the peninsular and the Himalayan river systems. You can see there are different bases on which comparison has been done. For example, on the basis of how perennial these rivers are, how turbulent they are, in what manner they flow, etc. After knowing the important rivers and river systems of India, it becomes important to know the flow of water in a river. What do you think is the quantity of water flowing in a river channel the same throughout the year or it varies? Yes, it varies from season to season. In which season do you expect the maximum flow in Ganga and Kaveri? Think over it. We will know more about these things. Pattern of flow of water in a river channel over a year is known as its regime. The North Indian rivers originating from the Himalayas are perennial. That means they have water throughout the year. Why so? It is because they are fed by glaciers through snow melt and also receive rainfall water during rainy season. The rivers of South India do not originate from glaciers and their flow pattern fluctuates. The flow increases considerably during monsoon rains and decreases otherwise. Thus, the regime of the rivers of South India is controlled by rainfall, which also varies from one part of the peninsular plateau to the other. Another term is discharge. The discharge is the volume of water flowing in a river measured over time. It is measured either in cusecs, that is cubic feet per second, or cumecs, that is cubic meters per second. We will try to understand discharge and river regime in more detail by talking about two rivers, one of Himalayan river system and another of peninsular system. The Ganga, which is a part of Himalayan river, has its minimum flow during the January to June period. The maximum flow is attained either in August or in September. After September, there is a steady fall in the flow. The river thus has a monsoon regime during the rainy season. On the other hand, Narmada river has a very low volume of discharge from January to July, but it suddenly rises in August when the maximum flow is attained. The fall in October is as spectacular as the rise in August. By now, it must be clear to all of us that amount of water flowing in all the rivers throughout the year is also not the same. Sometimes there is a flood, while other times there can be scarcity of water. We have been using river water for various purposes such as groundwater recharge, agriculture, electricity generation, etc. There are also incidences of large-scale pollution of river water. Look at the pictures. These are of river pollution. Why are the rivers polluted? Have you seen the dirty waters of cities entering into the rivers? Where do the industrial effluents and wastes get disposed of? Try to find out answers to these questions. You must have read in the newspaper about Ganga Action Plan and Namami Gange program. Namami Gange program is an integrated conservation mission approved as flagship program by the Union government in June 2014 with the objectives of effective control on pollution, conservation and rejuvenation of the national river Ganga. Think about the ways in which we can conserve river water. Let us recapitulate what we learned today. We learned about Himalayan river systems, three important river systems within Himalayan river system, peninsular river system, important rivers of peninsular river system and their characteristics, smaller rivers flowing towards west and east, river regime and discharge, and then we also got to know about conservation of rivers. Children, I hope you must have understood the two major river systems of India. We will come up with some other topic. Till then, bye.